Once upon a time, there was a Domo and a Koopa. They were good friends. And then they were just more than friends. They were best friends. And then when they went to middle school, they were more than best friends. They were boyfriend and girlfriend. And then they went to college, Cooper Cape College to be exact. And then they when they got a job, and then they and then when they were old enough to get married, they did. And then and then they had a baby Domo. And they had a baby Domo. And then they had an egg, and then hatched out of it a baby Domo. And then 2 years later, the Domo had another egg. They didn't know why it was why it didn't look like their other one. But then it started wobbling, and then out came out, and then came out. It came out a green thing. A green thing. They just named him. They just named it Yoshi. And then 2 years later, when Yoshi learned how to talk, when he learned how to talk, that and his older brother was a teenager. The kings of Koopa Cape and of Toad Town and Koopa Town both got in a fury of rage when they found out about the marriage, because they were not invited. They got into a seether of rage. They got into a seether of rage and told them that they had to get a divorce. Otherwise they would say hasta la vista to their kids. And then this is what they said. Domo, take good care of Yoshi. And then this happened. They were separated, thrown to completely different sides of the island. Thrown to completely different sides of the world. And then the kids were thrown. But they weren't thrown to completely different islands. They were thrown to the same exact island. They weren't even thrown to an island at all. They were thrown to a plank of wood. A plank of wood just off the coast of the island. It's baby Yoshi's Binky. His blankie, and that's it. All they had. They were floating and floating and floating and floating until they fell off of a waterfall. And then they hit the surprise of their lives. At the bottom of that waterfall, after swimming for 10 miles, at the bottom of that waterfall, after swimming for a little while, they discovered an island with a bunch of fruit and and people. And then they discovered it. They discovered the island. They, they got on the island, and then they dried off. And then they dried off their pillow. Then they dried off their plank of wood. And then they went to the store. And then they dried off their plank of wood. And then they went to the store to buy all new stuff. And then they built a house. And then they built a house. Then they built a house, and they saw that this island was just off the coast of the island that their mom and dad have been thrown off. So they're going to try to build a big enough raft that will hold everyone. But he was just on one, but they were only on one side of the island. The people were in the town side. They're making their house in the forest side, thus creating thus creating thus creating Yoshi's Island. We can play and have fun. Yoshi's Island, here you're number one. Yoshi's Island, we can climb to the mountain, eat some fruit. Yoshi's Island, and then we can stay tuned for so much more. Yoshi's Island, made after this video. Yoshi!